Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
One moment. 1 second. There is some setting difficulty. One moment. Okay. But the screen size seems to be small. Can you read? There is some problem in setting. अभी आपको स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है?
Prabhuji, two screens are coming side by side, Prabhuji.
Oh. उसका सेटिंग कहाँ से होगा? एक सेकंड. अभी एक दिख रहा है प्रभु, दो दिख रहा है?
प्रभुजी
मतलब
अभी कुछ डिस्प्ले नहीं है प्रभुजी, डिस्प्ले नहीं है.
नहीं डिस्प्ले है.
जी.
अच्छा.
सेम प्रभुजी, वही डबल आ रहा है.
बराबर. एक मिनट मैं इसको क्लोज करता हूँ. सारे क्लोज कर दो. नहीं तो आप स्क्रीन शेयर कर दो. ठीक है, मैं ये लास्ट ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. अगर इसमें हो गया नहीं तो यूज शेयर द स्क्रीन. अभी स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है? कैन यू सी द स्क्रीन नाउ?
Prabhuji is coming, but both the screens coming, Prabhuji. Maybe in gallery view it will show, Prabhuji. Top there is some standard side by side options are there.
Yeah, that is what I'm looking now, from where it will show.
In the top of the Zoom screen, Prabhuji, it will come.
Okay, gallery is there.
Yeah, in gallery view it
I've
should
ticked
come,
gallery.
Prabhuji.
I've ticked gallery already.
Okay.
And sort gallery by name, no. Multi-speaker, dynamic gallery, new. You show the screen, never mind. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You see the gallery now? In my screen, there is no share now. So you
Yes.
show from 3:134. Okay, 34th. Make the font size a little bigger. Okay. Okay, but the screen area is very less. Okay. So we see Vidurji, and after traveling, after being in places of all the pilgrimage, he finally meets Uddhav and he inquires on the welfare of various personalities, particularly in Dwarka. He is inquiring about the very most close associates of Lord Krishna and Balram, and series of inquiries he has made. From last almost 10 verses we are hearing that he is inquiring the welfare and well-being of all these personalities. Show the translation. May I inquire whether Aniruddha is doing well? Last time we discussed this verse. He is the fulfiller of all desires of the pure devotees and has been considered from you to be the cause of Rig Ved, the creator of the mind and the fourth plenary expansion of Vishnu. So from the senior and the most respectable person down to the sons and even the grandsons of Krishna, he is inquiring. Okay, come down. We'll continue from verse number 35. Come down. Okay. Api swit anne chanijatmadevam ananyavritya samu anuvrita ye hridik satyamaja charudeshana gadadaya swasti charanti saumya. O sober one, others such as Hardik, Charudeshana, Gada, and the sons of Satyabhama. So now he is inquiring, with the Aniruddha, he is inquiring about the sons of these queens. First he inquired about Pradyumna, and then Pradyumna's son Aniruddha. Now he is inquiring about the other sons of the principal queens of Krishna in Dwarka. So these are Hardik, Charudesana, Gada, and the sons of Satyabhama who accept Lord Shri Krishna as the soul of the self and thus follow his path without deviation. Are they all well? So in these verses he has inquired about the lineage of Lord Shri Krishna. Prabhupada does not give any purport to this. Api swadorбhayam vijay achyuta bhayam dharme na dharma paripat setum duryodhano atapyato yat sabhayam samrajya lakshmaya vijay anuvrittya. So now he is inquiring about the Pandavas and the Kurus. First he was inquiring about the Vrishnis, and now he is inquiring about the Kurus. Also, let me inquire whether Maharaj Yudhishthir is now maintaining the kingdom according to religious principles. And with respect for the path of religion, formerly Duryodhana was burning with envy because Yudhishthira was being protected by the arms of Krishna, and Arjuna as if they were his own arms. Just come down, show the verse, very beautiful verse. Come down, show the verse. Yeah. See. It is a api swadorбhayam vijay achyut abhayam. Api is by his or also swadorбhayam is own arms. And Vijay is Arjuna and Achyuta is Krishna. Very beautiful. So combined strength of both Vijay and Achyuta, that is Krishna and Arjuna, and how they are protecting swadorбhayam by their powerful arms. And dharmena dharma paripata setum. Dharma is religious principles. Dharmena is religious principles, okay. And dharma here is being mentioned for Maharaj Yudhishthir. Arjuna is referred as Vijay, and Yudhishthir Maharaj is mentioned here as Dharmaha. And from whom they are protecting the path of religion? From Duryodhana. Duryodhana atripyata yat sabhayam. Atripyata means envied. is not Sabhayam, it is Sabhayam. Sorry, it is Sabhayam. Sabhayam is the royal assembly. Okay, come down. Maharaj Yudhishthir was the emblem of religion. He is known as Dharmaraj. And the other day, Dayāśīl also, okay, she was talking about Vidur. So, Yudhishthir Maharaj is Dharmaraj personified. When he was ruling his kingdom with the help of Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the opulence of his kingdom surpassed all imaginations of the opulence of kingdom of heaven. How Prabhupada is mentioning this, that the opulence of kingdom of Maharaj Yudhishthir surpassed the opulence of kingdom of heaven. On what basis? Can anyone answer? Stop the screen share. Srila Prabhupada is saying here is quoting that the opulence of Maharaj Yudhishthir's kingdom surpassed the opulence of even the kingdom of demigod Indra. How? How can the earthly kingdom surpass the heavenly kingdom in opulence? How is it possible? Bala Purushottam, how this is possible?
Because Krishna was there.
Yeah, and Arjuna was also there. Vijaya and Achyuta. But it is still not complete answer. So how Krishna being there, the opulence can be surpassing? Prabhupada has answered it. We have discussed this in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I've dropped a hint. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we have discussed this. Bolo Priyanka. How Yudhishthir's kingdom surpassed the opulence of Indra's kingdom? It should be immediate. Why you are taking so much time?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Because Pandavas were followed the instruction of Sri Krishna.
That is there, but the right answer. What is the right answer? Manoram?
Prabhuji, in Lord Krishna's presence, it is all opulence is already present, Prabhuji.
You are not giving the right. I need that right word. Yes, Ravinder? Abhi batti jali? Bolo.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. They follow the religious principles and they
All
also follow the
following the religious principle, you follow the religious principle, you can surpass the opulence of Indra.
दूसरा ये था they are follow the guidance of Brahmins.
Still not. No, you're missing. कुछ ध्यान नहीं रहता है आप लोगों को. इतना क्लियरली फर्स्ट चैप्टर में इतनी डिटेल में डिस्कशन किया था. बोला रम्या.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Lord Krishna is the husband of goddesses of horses.
This is the answer. These people are really foolish. Lakshmi is already there. Opulence means what? Shri. And where is Shri? Shri is where the Swami is, where Krishna is, where Vishnu is. The goddess of fortune is there where the Supreme Lord is. So who can match the opulence of those who have captured the Supreme Lord in their heart? So they surpass the opulence of not just the heavenly planet or the earthly planet, even of the spiritual planets. Okay, show the screen. You don't remember anything. You don't remember what were the signs of symptoms of victory for Pandavas? We discussed that. These are basic things. You should be knowing. How will you preach? What you will preach? If you do not know, then how you will preach? Did you not discuss? Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana. And wherever there is Krishna, there is the goddess of fortune. And wherever there is goddess of fortune, there is opulence. How you don't remember these basic things? Show the screen. Anyway, you people are not putting your heart in philosophy. When he was ruling the kingdom with the help of Lord Krishna and Arjuna, both, the opulence of the kingdom surpassed all imaginations of the opulence of the kingdom of heaven. His actual arms were Lord Krishna and Arjuna. This is Dorbhyam. And thus he surpassed everyone's opulence. Duryodhana, being envious of this opulence, planned so many schemes to put Yudhishthira into difficulty. And at last the battle of Kurukshetra was brought about. After the battle of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthira was again able to rule his legitimate kingdom, and he reinstated the principles of honor and respect for religion. That is the beauty of a kingdom ruled by a pious king like Maharaj Yudhishthira. So when Duryodhana and his father Dhritarashtra were the king, then there was no respect and honor for religion. It was irreligion. That is why Krishna wanted to change the regime. Actual people are trying to become Krishna to change the regime. Why? Because they are demoniac and they want their demoniac purpose to be resolved. No. The purpose of regime change is to reinstate the principles of religion and honor and respect for religion. Okay, go to the next verse. Kim va krita agheshu agam atyamarshi bhimo hiva dhirgatmavan vyamuchan yasya angri patam ranbhur nasehe margam gadasya charato vichitram. So first he inquired about the religion personified, that is Maharaj Yudhishthir and also Arjun, and now he is inquiring about Bhima. Please tell me whether the unconquerable Bhima, what is the word for unconquerable? Is Ati Amrishi, who is like a cobra, Ahivat, has released his long cherished anger upon the sinners. Why so? Because he took a terrible vow that he will kill all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra. So he was burning with so much anger and anguish. So Vidura is inquiring whether his anger has been pacified. He has settled. The field of battle could not tolerate even the wonderful playing of his club when he stepped on the path. He was so powerful. His strength was so that when he would move, even the earth would tremble. That is why it said the field of battle could not tolerate even the wonderful playing of his club, his gada, when he stepped on the path. Vidur knew the strength of Bhima. Whenever Bhima was on the battlefield, he stepped on the path and the wonderful playing of his clubs were unbearable for the enemy. Powerful Bhima did not take steps against the sons of Dhritarashtra for a long time. Vidura's inquiry was whether he had released his anger, which was like that of a suffering cobra. Come down. Be attentive, Prabhu, please. When a cobra releases its venom after long cherished anger, its victim cannot survive. Come down. Kaschit yashodha ratham yuthapanam गांडीवा धनवा उपहतारी अस्ते है अलक्षितो यक्षराकुतो गुधो मया कीरितो गिरिशस्य तुष्टः तुतुत्सहो. Please tell me whether Arjuna, whose bow bears the name of Gandiv and who is always famous among the chariot warriors for vanquishing his enemies, is doing well. He once satisfied Lord Shiva by covering him with arrows. When Shiva came as an unidentified false hunter. Wait. Let me see the verse, Prabhu. What is the hurry? Let me get into the verse. Which portion is speaking about Lord Shiva? Let me check. Maya Kirataha, that is the false hunter. Alakshito yat chara kuto gudaha. Alakshita is without being identified. Yat sura kutagada maya kiritaha, that is the false hunter. Girishaha, that is Lord Shiva. Tushtosaha, was satisfied. You know the story? Okay, let us see the purport and then we will discuss. Come down. Lord Shiva tested Arjuna's strength by picking a quarrel with him over a hunted boar. He confronted Arjuna in a false dress of a hunter. And Arjuna covered him with arrows until Lord Shiva was satisfied with Arjuna's fighting. He offered Arjuna the Pashupati weapon and blessed him. Here Vidura inquires about the great warrior's well-being. Stop the share. Close the share. Screen share. Who knows this story of how Arjuna satisfied Lord Shiva when he came as a hunter? And he satisfied Shiva so much that Shiva gave him the gift of Pashupati. That weapon, that deadly weapon, was offered by Lord Shiva. This is the time when Arjuna and his brothers were in exile. No, Gaurangi? She is showing her pony. खड़ी हो जा. Okay. Batao, what is this story? How he satisfied Lord Shiva? Who is good storyteller? सही से बताओ. Who will explain? बोलो, कोई भी हाथ नहीं उठा रहा, क्या बात है? सब सोच रहे दूसरा बोले मैं सुनूं. यस सोनिका, आप बताइए.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी, सबसे पहले तो जो है, जब अर्जुना जंगल में थे तो उस टाइम पे जो है एक मतलब कोई एनिमल जाता है, मतलब क्रॉस करता है, और वहां पे जो है अर्जुना उसको मतलब एम करते हैं. और जब वो एम करते हैं, कुछ लोग उनसे बोलते हैं कि हमें जो है इनसे बचाओ ऐसे करके, तो वो उसको एम करते हैं. और फिर जब वहां पे जाते हैं चेक करने के लिए, तो वहां देखते हैं कि ये किसी और ने भी मतलब इसको मारा हुआ है. तो उस समय फिर वो हंटर के रूप में जो है लॉर्ड शिवा आते हैं. तो उन दोनों में फिर थोड़ा सा आर्ग्यूमेंट होता है कि इसे तो मैंने मारा है. तो लॉर्ड शिवा उनका एक्चुअली परीक्षा लेते हैं इस तरह से, और फिर दोनों में फाइट होता है. दोनों, लेकिन फिर जो है जब वो फाइट थोड़ा इंटेंस होने लगता है, तो अर्जुना रियलाइज करते हैं कि ये तो जो है खुद ही लॉर्ड शिवा हैं. तो वो तुरंत ही सरेंडर कर जाते हैं कि आपसे तो मतलब मैं नहीं जीत सकता, उस करके उनको सरेंडर कर देते हैं. जैसे ही सरेंडर करते हैं और उनको बोलते हैं कि आप मुझे अपनी ब्लेसिंग्स दीजिए, तो फिर उनसे लॉर्ड शिवा खुश हो जाते हैं और अपना रियल जो है अपना जो रियल फॉर्म है उसको रिवील करते हैं, और फिर उनको ब्लेसिंग देते हैं. और ये पशुपतास्त्र उनको ग्रांट करते हैं।
Yes, correct. Actually, when Arjuna and his brothers were in exile, they are warriors, so they have to practice. So one day Arjuna was very, very expert. He could release the arrow hearing the sound. And while they were in the forest in exile, he heard a sound of a big animal that was drinking water. So from where the sound was coming, Arjuna released his arrows to kill that big beast. And when Arjuna released the arrow, there was a big sound made by the beast and he died. And when Arjuna came and saw which animal he had killed, he saw it was a big boar. And that was not having only one arrow, but there were 2 arrows on his body. So Arjuna claimed that he shot the arrow and he killed the animal. And of course, he wanted to prepare the animal for a meal. But as he was trying to do that, immediately he saw there was another person in the form of a hunter who came and he countered Arjuna. And he said, how can you touch? How can you dare touch my share? I have killed. This is my arrow that I have shot from my bow. And that has killed this boar. So why you are behaving like a thief? You're taking someone else's property. So there was a big argument. Arjuna said, this is my arrow. And Shiva said, in the guise of a hunter, this is my arrow, I have killed. So, and as Sonika said, then there was a conflict, and then they started to fight and shoot arrows to each other. And there was a very intense battle. No one was winning and neither one was losing. So it continued for a long time. And then Arjuna started to think that who could be this? No, there cannot be any hunter who can stand on the prowess of my bow, Gandiva, and my arrows. He must be some superhuman person. So Arjuna requests. And then as Sonika said that Lord Shiva reveals himself and Arjuna submits to him. And he very much pleases Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is Asutosh. He is very quickly pleased also and he is very quickly angered also. He is Asutosh also and Ashurosh. 2 words. He is Asutosh and he is Ashurosh. He can be very quickly angered also. So he was angered here, but he was making a show. And then when Arjuna submits to him and asks for blessings, so he is very satisfied. He was very satisfied to see the prowess. He was not satisfied by Arjuna's speaking soft word, but he was satisfied by seeing the sheer prowess of Arjuna's sharp arrows, which satisfied him. So here, Vidurji is asking, okay, anyway, can you see the screen now? Is it clear or is it still split? Bolo?
Split, Prabhuji, split.
Split, yeah.
Are we still split? Then I will have to change my setting. I have to need a help. Okay. You sure? Go ahead. Here Vidura inquired about the great warrior's well-being, that is Arjuna. So he is inquiring about all the Pandavas. Come down. He has inquired about Yudhishthir, Arjun, Bhima. Then he is inquiring about others. Yamau Ushriva Tanayo Parthaya Parther Vrato Pakshambir Akshiniva Remat Uddaya Mrideswariktam Parat Suparno Iva Vajrivaktrat. So here the word Yamau is for the twins, which is Nakul and Sahadev, are the twin brothers who are protected by their brothers. They are Tanayo Parthaya. Parthaya is Pritha's sons. So they are being protected. Just as the eye is always protected by the eyelid, they are protected by the sons of Pritha. Who are the sons of Pritha who are protecting? Arjuna and Bhima, who snatched back their rightful kingdom from the hands of their enemy Duryodhana. Just as Garuda snatched nectar from the mouth of Indra, the thunderbolt carrier. Okay, come down. Indra, the king of heaven carries a thunderbolt in his hand and is very strong. Yet Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, was able to snatch nectar from his mouth. Similarly, Duryodhana was as strong as the king of heaven and still the sons of Pritha. The Pandavas were able to snatch away the kingdom from Duryodhana. Both Garuda and the Parthas are pet devotees of the Lord. Who are Parthas? Both Garuda and Parthas. Stop the share. Who are Parthas? इतना टाइम लग रहा है रियांशी who's Partha?
Prabhuji, Yudhishthir, Bhima and Arjun.
Very good. Very good. The son of Pritha. Okay, show the screen. Yet Garuda, okay. Similarly, Duryodhana was as strong as the king of heaven and still the sons of Pritha. The Pandavas were able to snatch away their kingdom from Duryodhana. Both Garuda and the Parthas are pet devotees, not pure, pet. Prabhupada is making it even more intimate. Pet devotees. Like a pet dog, is very close. Pet devotees of the Lord. That should be the aspiration. Not to just become pure devotees. There are millions of pure devotees. But what to become? Pet devotee of the Lord. And thus it was possible for them to face such strong enemies. Vidura's inquiry was about the youngest brothers of the Pandavas, namely Nakul and Sahadev. These twin brothers were sons of Madari, the stepmother of other Pandavas. But although they were stepbrothers, because Kunti took charge of them after the departure of Madari with her husband Maharaj Pandu, Nakula and Sahadev were as good as the other three Pandavas, namely Yudhishthir, Bhima and Arjuna. The five brothers are known in the world as regular brothers. The three elder Pandavas took care of the younger brothers just as the eyelid takes care of the eye. Very beautiful. As the eyelid takes care of the eye. Vidura was anxious to know whether after winning back their own kingdom from the hands of Duryodhana, the younger brothers are still living happily under the care of his elder brother. Go now. Aha prithapi धीर्यते अर्भकार्थे राजऋषि वर्येण विना पितेनः यस्त्वा एक वीरो अधृतो विजज्ञे धनुर्द्वितीया ककुबः चतुर्शरा. Oh my Lord, is Pritha still living? Asking about Kunti Devi, Pritha. She lived only for the sake of her fatherless children. Otherwise, it was impossible for her to live without King Pandu, who was the greatest commander and who alone conquered the four directions simply with the help of a second bow. A faithful life cannot live without her Lord. Sorry, a faithful wife cannot live without her Lord, the husband. And therefore, all widows used to voluntarily embrace the burning fire which consumed the dead husband. This system was very common in India because all the wives were chaste and faithful to their husbands. Later on, with the advent of the age of Kali, the wives gradually began to be less adherent to their husbands, and the voluntarily embrace of the fire by the widows became a thing of the past. Very recently, the system was abolished since the voluntary system had become a forcible social custom. So this is talking about, wait, don't be in a hurry. We are not there to just complete. So here, the quality of Kunti is being described here. That she is such a chaste wife, such a faithful wife, that is she still there? Is she still living, breathing, surviving? Because her husband passed away. So this is the question he's inquiring. When Maharaj Pandu died, both his wives, namely Kunti and Madri, were prepared to embrace the fire. But Madri requested Kunti to live for the sake of younger children, the 5 Pandavas. This was agreed upon by Kunti at the added request of Vyasadeva. In spite of her great bereavement, Kunti decided to live, not to enjoy life in the absence of her husband, but only to give protection to the children. This incident is referred to here by Vidur because he knows all the facts about his sister-in-law, Kunti Devi. It is understood that Maharaj Pandu was a great warrior and that he alone with the help of bow and arrow could conquer the world's 4 directions. In the absence of such a husband, it was almost impossible for Kunti to live on even as a widow. But she had to do it for the sake of the 5 children, the 5 Pandavas. Okay. Stop the screen share. So if you see the Vedic system, this is very important learning. माननीय माता जी आपका वीडियो बंद हो गया वीडियो चला ही गया that the glory of the wife is in being dedicated to the husband. That is where, the real glory is. That she serves the family, the husband, with full dedication. And her entire existence is to render service. And when she sees that the husband is no longer there, then she has no reason to continue to live. Because she has no interest in anyone else. Her all in all is her husband. Today we were discussing, we are studying this course is over. The section of Srimad Bhagavatam, we studied from 4th canto, 24th chapter, 25th chapter, 28th chapter. There is this very, very interesting story of King Puranjana. And Puranjan, because he was very much attached to his wife, he was very lusty and he was very much enamored. So when he died in the next birth, because he was always thinking of his wife, when he died, in the next birth, he becomes a woman. Vaidharvi. But he gets a great devotee king as his husband is Malay Dhwaja. And Malay Dhwaj was very, very powerful king. And he was very much inclined for self-realization. So they take Vanprastha, even though being king. And when they perform austerity, in the Vanprastha life means austerity. And when he finally passes away, the Malay Dhwaj, when he passes away, so Vaidarbhi, she was so much in service and absorbed that she also decides to enter the funeral fire. But it is not required now, because that kind of dependence is not there. But it is very important that if in Indian perspective, if somebody is getting married, the purpose is only one. For the lady is to serve the family, is to serve the husband. And if one is not doing that, then she's not following the dharma. Nowhere it is mentioned. See, if she is inquiring about after so many years of passing, Yudhishthir and Arjuna, they are so grown up. What is the inquiry? Is she alive? Why? Because this is a big surprise. After Pandu passing away, how she is holding on in his body? How she is retaining the body after losing her husband? So he is inquiring. Very, very important that the housewife, she is a housewife. She must stay at home and she must be the center to serve and be religious and make others also become religious in the family. Okay? Go ahead. Women are not meant to earn money. It is only and only if there is a very, very, they should be there in the house, which is much more valuable. Okay, show the verse again. See how he's making a surprise. We were discussing the 40th verse, no? Yeah. Catch the principle, it is more important. Otherwise, the principles will remain in the Shastras. Oh my Lord, is Pritha still living? This is the inquiry. And why is she living? She lived only for the sake of her fatherless children. Otherwise, it is impossible for her to live without King Pandu. You all know this story now. Because Madhuri was the one who had union with Pandu, and so he died. So she had even more guilt. And Kunti sacrificed that she allowed Madhuri and she took the responsibility. Prabhupada is saying a faithful wife cannot live without the Lord or the husband. And therefore all widows used to voluntarily embrace the burning fire which consumed the dead husband. Now, come down. The last portion. One moment. In the absence of such a husband, it is impossible for Kunti to live on even as a widow. But she had to do it for the sake of 5 children. Very important. See, very simple. If we follow the Dharma will protect. Again, close the screen share. And we should not think that if we will not earn, then we will starve or we will not be able to meet our livelihood. This is again a sort of being independent, not being dependent on the Lord. This is independent mentality. It is actually irreligion. Today, again, Kuber is not hearing. I don't see him. These principles are very much required. The religious principles will protect us if we embrace them, if we follow them. And if we also behave like worldly people with their kind of thinking, and what is our thinking? That if we have money, then we are safe, we are protected. Then where is the role of the Supreme Lord? And where is the dependence on the Lord? Our dependence is tested when we do not have the resource. If we have the resource, then where are the dependence on the Lord? See the case of the Pandavas. Even in such difficult conditions, they never ever gave up their dependence. When we will be tested at that time, what we are thinking, that if I have some fund, if I have some resource, if I have some income, if I have some bank balance, if I have some assets, then it will help me. That is what the materialist people think, but not the devotees. So here she is being glorified. Why she could survive? Because she was so chaste. This is the ornament of the women class, is their chastity and their service to the family members. Go to the next verse. सौम्य अनुशोचे तम अंधापत पतंतम भ्रत्रे पारताये विदुद्रोहेयः निर्यापितो येन सृहत् स्वपुर्या अहम स्वपुत्रान् समानुव्रतेनः. O gentle one, I simply lament for him, Dhritarashtra, who rebelled against his brother after death. Rebelled against his brother after death. By him, I was driven out of my house. Although I am his sincere well-wisher, because he accepted the line of action adopted by his own sons. Okay. So he is in a kind of sharing his own katha. He's saying that, oh gentleman, I simply lament for him. Come down, see the verse. How Dhritarashtra is being introduced here. Show the verse. You are hearing? Show me the verse, Baba, Sanskrit. Yeah. Saumya, he is addressing Vidura, Saumya, O gentle one, O sober one. Anushochaha. Shocha is lamenting. So he is lamenting about whom? Tam, him. Who is that? Andhapatantam. Andhapatantam. Who is Andhapatantam? Is Dhritarashtra. Who is he? Bharatarare. Bhritare. Who is on the verge of death. And who rebelled? Against whom he rebelled? Vidudrohe yaha niryapati yena suhit swapurya aham swaputran samanuvartenaha. Okay, so come now. So Vidurji is telling Uddhav that my heart is still crying to know about Dhritarashtra, but he's not asking because there is nothing auspicious about Dhritarashtra. He's asking about the welfare. Nah? He's asking the welfare of everyone. That what is the welfare of Krishna and Balram, and what is the welfare of the Vrishnis, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sambha, all the sons of the queens. Then he's asking the welfare of the Pandavas. But he's lamenting that how can there be any welfare for my blind brother Dhritarashtra? Because he has already kicked out his best well-wisher, that is myself, out from his kingdom. Why? Because he is accepting the advice of the wicked and the irreligious sons, his own sons. Vidur did not ask about the welfare of his elder brother because there was no chance of his well-being, because Dhritarashtra had only one well-wisher, that was Vidur. And he chose to kick out Vidur. So in a way, he has kicked out well-being in his life. Only news of his gliding down to hell. So there was only one chance, that when Mahatma Vidur is out of his life, he will only glide down to hell. Vidur was a sincere well-wisher for Dhritarashtra, and he had thought about him in the corner of his heart. He lamented that Dhritarashtra could rebel against his sons of his dead brother Pandu, and that he could drive him Vidura out of his own house on the dictations of his crooked sons. So he is remembering how his crooked sons forced Dhritarashtra to commit all such sinful activities. In spite of these actions, Vidura never became an enemy of Dhritarashtra, but continued to be his well-wisher. That is a devotee preacher. That in spite of the person to whom you are giving well-wishing feeling, to elevate him, to liberate him, and he may be targeting you or hitting you also, but you don't change his position. Prabhupada is saying Vidura never became an enemy of Dhritarashtra, but continued to be his well-wisher. And at the last stage of Dhritarashtra's life, it was Vidura only who proved to be his real friend. Such is the behavior of a Vaishnava like Vidura. He desires all good even for his enemies. Close it. Getting time. So the greatest fortune, there is a big misfortune of Dhritarashtra. He got the best opportunity. But because of his attachment to his sons, who are all evil, that privilege became a curse for him. But still he had this great good fortune that his younger brother, Vidura, he never changed his favor against Dhritarashtra. He remained ever favorably inclined to liberate him, to elevate him. Okay. There are just 2-3 verses left. We will discuss next time, and then we will take the full review also of the chapter, at least the broad section that we have done. Tomorrow is Saturday. Dayāśīl Prabhu. So, okay, you give the invitation. We'll have spiritual scientist.
जी Prabhu, thank you.
And we will take it on Monday. Monday's morning is Sripad Ramanujacharya's appearance. I have class in our temple. So I will get an opportunity to study on life of Sripad Ramanuja. And this week had been really, really very auspicious for us. We could every day hear such nectarian discourse from Srimad Bhagavatam from His Grace Rukmini Krishna Prabhu. From Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days. Monday we had to go for that temple opening in Saibabad, but in 4 days we covered 4 chapters. More than 4 to 5 hours every day. So we become sincere in Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam gives teaching and principles which are there to protect us from material conditioning and to liberate us to experience the transcendental rasa. Okay, I'll stop here. If you have questions, please ask. There should be some discussion. If there is no, we are having such discussions. On one philosophical point, we were having at least so many questions. Yes,
Listen, Prabhuji.
may and Dayāśīl Prabhu.
Prabhuji, religious principle protect us when we embrace them. So,
Yes.
Prabhuji, can you elaborate on this?
Very simple. Embrace them means what? When you accept them, when you apply them, when you follow them, then they will protect you. That famous verse is there, Dharma Rakshati Rakshita.
Protect means, Prabhuji, means
Protect means what? What is the biggest protection required for a conditioned soul? What is the biggest protection required for a conditioned soul?
Prabhuji, whatever perform our devotional service, Prabhuji.
He should not glide down to the lower species of life. And he should be elevated to the spiritual platform. From the material platform, he should be elevated to the spiritual platform. So if we follow Dharma, then Dharma will protect us in not committing sinful activities. And if you don't commit sinful activities, if you live a life which is pure, then there is no suffering. Because all suffering is because of sin. And in spite of suffering, we are so foolish that we want to continue to sin. Then what can be done? Then nothing can be done. Then we need to suffer. Then we only deserve to be suffering. When the religious principles are being told, we think we are above them. Then what will happen? It is difficult. For those people who are independent minded, it is very difficult to follow. They cannot follow. Following is only possible for those who are simple and who do not have materialistic aspirations. Those who have materialistic aspirations, they will not be able to follow the religious principles. They cannot follow. They will find some reason not to follow. You see the religious principle, very difficult. What is the religious principle in this entire episode? Let me see how much you people are hearing. What is the greatest religious principle that we heard today, that we discussed today? We have not discussed, let us discuss. In this 5 verses or 6 verses that we discussed from 34th onwards till 41, what was the highest religious principle that we just, what is the discovery? Bolo. Pradeep, you are hearing, Pradeep? You never get a response. You look as a stone face as if you are not hearing also. What is the religious principle that we saw, or which was shared in these verses? Let me see how much is the understanding. Quickly speak. You have already wasted 4 minutes, a couple of minutes. If you are hearing, it would have struck. Batao. Hearing is done by heart. Heart has to connect, to receive the message. Who will tell? Sonika? You were hearing, Sonika? You tell me, Priyanka.
Prabhuji, we should not have our independent mentality.
No, depend on what we have heard. That is there. How is it possible, conditioned soul, not to have independent mentality? Without independent mentality, how can we exist in this material world? If our independent mentality was totally transformed, then we cannot be in this material world. Then we will be in spiritual world only. Degree may change. Some may have less, some may have more. But it is there. What is the principle? The religious principle. That what he asked, that if we embrace the religious principle will protect us. What is the outstanding religious principle that we, discovered in this section, what we discussed today? No one took note. It was there. Bolo Purushottam.
Who is to become pet devotee of the Lord.
That is our aspiration. Why we want to be pet devotee of the Lord? So we can get the favor of the Lord. That is not religious principle. That is there, but not in terms of what we are discussing. Bolo, Manora, did you register?
Krishna Prabhuji, the quality you have seen from here is the non-enviousness, Prabhuji.
Detail, give some explanation.
Even though Vidurji was disturbed by Duryodhana, but still he did not have any enmity towards him, Prabhuji. He was the well-wisher still.
Yeah. This is the religious principle. He is inquiring about Dhritarashtra. And he said that he may be getting degraded, but he never became enemy of his enemy. Dhritarashtra treated him like an enemy. He insulted him, humiliated him, and even kicked him out of his kingdom. But in spite of receiving such treatment, what is the religious principle of Vidura? That he still wants to deliver him. He is not having any inimical feelings. And he delivers him also. We will see. We've already seen in the first canto. So that is your understanding. Dayāśīl, this is a practical demonstration of what it means to embrace the religious principle. It is not easy. It is not possible for ordinary conditioned soul. Ordinary conditioned soul is again and again attempting sense gratification. Sense gratifiers cannot embrace religious principles. Not possible. Once your service attitude has really been ignited to the core, can only embrace religious principles. We can aspire from such episodes, we get inspiration. But very important is that we give up our own independent plans of how to enjoy this world. If we pursue those plans, then there is no possibility. Then there is no one else we are trying to fool other than ourselves. The biggest fools. The biggest fool was this Duryodhana-like mentality, wicked mentality. He was thinking he is smarter than Krishna. Duryodhana was always thinking that he is smarter than Krishna. He is more intelligent than Krishna. He was always trying how to capture Krishna. And he never followed Krishna. From the first time I came to know yesterday, I had gone to this PGDAV college here. And yesterday was the Indian New Year. And we are so foolish that we are trying to celebrate the Christian New Year and even don't know where is the Indian New Year. So I did some research and found out what is the basis of the Indian New Year and why it is celebrated, why it was yesterday celebrated, because it is the first day of the calendar. The Indian calendar starts by Chaitra. It was Chaitra Pratipada, the first day of Chaitra. The new calendar begins. And that is the date of Yugadi. The new Yuga begins. Brahmaji's creation begins from this day. And we also have Navaratri. And the biggest planet, that is Jupiter. Yesterday was Thursday, Brihaspati. Jupiter, it turns into Aries. It moves into Aries. So there were so many reasons. One of the very important reasons which I discussed also there when I speak is to purify our existence in these 9 days. And on the end of the 9 days, Lord Ram will appear. It will be Ram Navami. We are so foolish. We are celebrating 1st January as New Year. What is new? That is the worst part of the nature. The nature is completely covered. It is so cold, bitterly cold at that time. The nature does not give its resources manifest. It is shrunken. And this is the best time. This is Vasant. Okay, so I'll stop here. It is getting late. It's 9:30. And tomorrow we will have the possibly by Krishna's mercy, spiritual scientist class. 72 of the opulences of Krishna is being discussed in the 10th chapter. Hear very attentively. Put those verses in your heart. In 1 week, we discuss just 2 or 3 verses. That should be there in our memory, in our heart. What we discussed last time. Not just passive hearing. From the hearing, we should be able to trigger our thinking, feeling, and willing. We should change that. Devotional life means changing our subtle body. Devotee means change. What we have to change? We have to change these 3 things of thinking, feeling, and willing. And if we are not changing, then only ears will change, bodies will change. Then subtle body will not change. If subtle body does not change, then we have to go from one body to another body. Let us prepare for Lord Ram's advent and have that change. Give up our own opinion is the most difficult thing. We're very, very stubborn. We are very stubborn. We don't want to do that. To the extent we can do, we will be liberated. We will be freed from the conditioning, from the contamination. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Think, there is Bhadra Purnima campaign. Today Guru Prasad Maharaj is giving the class. I didn't attend the class. I was hearing online. So Maharaj is making a request to all of us that there is still few months for Bhadra Purnima. So you think, you tax your mind and intelligence, whom you can approach this year for Bhadra Purnima campaign. First become sincere in receiving Bhagavatam and then you deliver Bhagavatam also to others. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories